The National Press Club became the scene of a fiery debate between Climate and Energy Minister Chris Bowen and Shadow Minister Ted O'Brien yesterday. The two men sparred over nuclear and renewable costings, power prices and the sustainability of the Coalition's domestic gas plan.
An electricity grid driven by renewables or by gas and nuclear. Australia's energy future is a fierce election battleground. Neither Minister Chris Bowen nor his opponent Ted O'Brien seemed surprised when the debate was interrupted early.
Tom, with your permission, shall we just proceed and ignore?
Despite soaring electricity costs, Mr Bowen began by defending the government's renewables rollout.
We've made good progress in our first 3 years. 33% renewable energy on the day we came to office, 46% in the last quarter of last year.
Mr Bowen, before the last election, you pledged energy bills to be $275 cheaper by the end of the term. What price pledge can you offer before this election, not compared to any coalition policies, but compared to the latest forecast prices? Will they go up or down?
Well, Tom, the pledge I do give is that energy prices will be cheaper under us than under Mr O'Brien. That is the pledge.
The opposition this week made promises of its own. It says diverting more natural gas for the domestic use would bring down prices by up to 15%.
You mentioned opposition modelling, which I think is a generous term. I mean, this is the document. I've seen more detailed menus in a Chinese restaurant than this document.
This is coming from the minister, whose own plan wouldn't fit in a Chinese fortune cookie. If anything, that's probably where it would belong, because you'd crack it open and all it would be a slogan.
There were paperwork props in a contest over which party's power price modelling is more reliable.
So here's his gas modelling. I use the term lightly. And here's the frontier nuclear modelling. I've put post-it notes on all the mistakes. So that's it. That's the modelling that the opposition proposes. Here is a small example of the reports that the government bases our expert plan on.
The cost of the Coalition's nuclear energy plan came under question.
If you look at the capital cost of a nuclear program under the CSIRO, Chris Bowen and the Labor Party are multiplying that by a factor of 5 to get to $600 billion. It is an utter lie. Under our plan, it will be up to $120 billion, which is consistent with the CSIRO.
If Ted is now wrapping himself in the CSIRO, I don't know why Mr Dutton and Mr Littleproud, let's say Ted to be fair, have been most improperly impunging the CSIRO.
What you ignore.
Mr Bowen biting back again when challenged on power prices by Sky News contributor Chris Ullman.
Electricity prices are rising, aren't they, Minister? That's written into every electricity bill, isn't it, Minister? And if you can't admit that simple fact here today, why should anyone believe anything that you say?
Chris, I'm not exactly sure what your question is really in reality. You've got strong views about... Sorry, you asked...
Are electricity prices going up
Chris, you asked
or down?
The question. I didn't interrupt you. Yeah, I didn't interrupt your question. Do I get to answer it? Do I get to answer it? Thank you. You've got strong views about these matters, which you express on Sky News in the evenings, and that's your right. I disagree with the way that you look at these matters. I disagree with the approach that you take, respectfully. I think that renewable energy is the cheapest form of energy. You disagree with me. You disagree with the CSIRO. It's disingenuous and dishonest of you to blame all this on renewable energy as you do on Sky in the evenings. It's just not right, sir. It's just not fair. You're entitled to that view.
I ask a very, very simple question. Have electricity prices risen on your watch the exact opposite of what you pledged? Have they?
We have never denied that energy prices are higher than we would like. That's why we've delivered 3 rounds of energy bill relief.
In the Treasurer's speech you wrote, electricity prices have fallen. That's not true, is it?
Well, the fact of the matter is, if you look at the recent data, Australia's had the lowest energy inflation in the world.
The Coalition's gas policy came under scrutiny by an expert panel on Sky News following the debate. Firstly, a lack of infrastructure to transport and store more gas domestically.
The other one is how the market will react. What does dumping that much gas into the market do for other producers? How does the market respond?
The Shadow Energy Minister was vague on whether a coalition government would stick to the Paris Agreement. Later on Sky, Michaelia Cash clarified.
There's no plans to pull out of the Paris Agreement. We have a plan for cheaper, cleaner and consistent energy that is less expensive than Labor.
The broader energy debate will be up to voters to adjudicate. Christy Lloyd, Sky News.